Welcome to the Multitasking Maven Show. If you're tired of saying, I don't have time for that, you're in the right place. I help busy moms organize their time and get the most out of their days through videos, tips, interviews, and workshops. After taking one of my productivity workshops, Carol had to say, amazing! You've given me back at least 5 hours a week. If you would like to find time in your schedule, make sure to go to multitaskingmaven.com right there on the homepage and register. Now, let's get into today's episode. So in today's episode, what we're talking about is time management. Now, we're not overhauling your complete schedule. What we're going to do is we're going to focus in on those things that actually trip up your schedule. And I have a system that I use when I approach any type of issue or problem that I want to improve. And that is number one, to improve. Number two is to add a system if I can. And then finally, if I can automate it, the more the merrier. And it really is so helpful. But the biggest thing that I see that causes moms a lot of additional stress is the fact that we have a schedule that we go in, day out. But the problem is most of us carry around our schedule up here in our head. And it's the excess baggage that we're carrying around from day to day. So in this exercise, we're going to do our schedule in two different ways. One, I have provided you another printable. So I have both my week and then you can see my day. So I've got a printable, but then I also have a digital tool that I'm going to share with you. I have moved from printables and planners to a complete digital tool. It is a free tool. The name of the tool is Trello. I'm going to give you just a complete overall tutorial also in this post. So it's going to be below this video. Okay. So we're going to either use the printables or we're going to use the digital version of Trello in order to identify what is that one thing. And we're going to focus just on one thing at a time. What is that one thing that is tripping us up that if we could have something in place would just make life so much easier? The first step that we're going to do, like I said, is we're either going to use the printable or we're going to use the digital tool. The reason being, again, is because half of your stress is that you carry everything in your head around that needs to be done. And that's fine, but it's the additional baggage that you're carrying around that weighs you down. And if you have anything that is outside of your normal schedule, I know for me, my children have scheduled music lessons, and sometimes the instructors want to change those lessons. Well, you would think that that wouldn't be necessarily a big deal. But right now, my schedule is on autopilot. And I know when the children's lessons are. I know when we need to be online and be ready to go. And if we change that to a different day, a different time, and maybe I'm not here and they don't remember, there's all kinds of things that can break down. We're not online, we're not ready to go, and that is time and money for me. So it's really important right now for this particular episode that you print out the printable or that you actually use Trello. And I want you to be honest with yourself because we all have the same 168 hours. It's really how we manage that 168 hours that makes all of the difference. And I think going through this one exercise, it's really going to pinpoint your number one pain point. If that's all that you get out of it, to take it out of your head and put it on a printable or put it on a digital manager, then you're already going to be walking around 50 pounds lighter. And then if you take a look at what your schedule is and what that pain point is, and let's focus in and apply my system to it, you're going to breathe a whole lot easier. All right. So what I want you to do, I'm going to go through right now using the printout. Okay. So those who are going to use the printable, I want you to print that out and I want you to put everything that you normally do with your family, put everything from getting up to going to bed to getting the kids to school, when you do your grocery shopping, all of the activities that you do, I want you to put those on the printable. And I've done that week at a glance, so you're able to list all of those different activities. Then I want you to go back and I want you with a highlighter, I want you to highlight that one major trip up. And I'm going to go through an example and tell you exactly what my major hang up is. Now, if you are using the digital version, make sure you check out the tutorial where I go through the week at a glance and you're able to very quickly input all of your information into Trello, okay? But right now, we're only going to focus on that one thing. And for me, the glaring thing in my week is meal planning. Now, we have 6 people in our family, and I'm a terrible cook. It's because I don't allow enough time. I'm not creative when it comes to meal planning or it comes to actually making the dinners. If I haven't allotted the proper time, some of my children, we need to leave here at about 4:45 in order to make it for a 5:30 soccer training. And sometimes I don't get home until 9 o'clock. So if I don't make that cutoff, the kids are eating egg sandwiches. And it's happened more than once, but I want to make sure that they get some protein, and thank goodness we have chickens, that they can make them, and on a dime. I don't have to worry about running to the grocery store. So my before is that we're eating egg sandwiches. The after is that I have taken an opportunity. I have planned out meals. They are meals I know my children will eat. And not only is that going to save me time during my day, but it's also going to save me time when I go to the grocery store. When I actually are cooking. The way that I like to cook literally is to have a big Ziploc bag, throw everything in it, throw it in the freezer, and as I need it, pull it out, throw it in the crock pot, throw it in the Instapot. I'm still trying to get a hang of that Instapot. My sister got me for my birthday, and I know things would be a lot better. It's just I need to know what those recipes are that are good and that my family will eat. And I actually have a solution for that. We're going to be talking with Angie for Meal Planning Mama coming up in January. So you want to make sure that you take a look at that episode. But my before, again, is the kids eating egg sandwich. The after is I know what we're doing, I've planned, and I'm saving money and I'm saving time. Because a lot of times for me, the rescue is the egg sandwich, but it's also me running over to Publix and getting a chicken dinner. I am so sick of chicken dinners. I am sick of pizzas. But that's costing me more time and it's costing me more money. And there's a lot of things that actually, if I look at my pain point, which is meal planning and the meals, really the evening, the dinner meals, I look at what systems that I can put into place. And the system is planning for a month. The system is then knowing what I'm going to get at the grocery store. I can even further automate that with things like delivery services, like Amazon's Pantry, being able to order everything and have it delivered to my house. I don't even have to leave my house. I mean, that saves a tremendous amount of time. And the fact that it's not that, what I call that rescue meal, that, I'm going out and spending probably more money on the chicken dinner, more money on the pizza. And, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be as healthy. I wouldn't say necessarily that we do a lot of eating out. We can't. We're a family of 6. It's a small mortgage payment for us just to go to Chick-fil-A. But this definitely is an area of concentration for me that I want to get a lot better at moving forward. Now, here's the thing. I want you, when you identify whatever your area is, for me, it's meal planning. So I've highlighted that, whether it's on the printable that I've provided for you or it's using Trello. There's a way that you can highlight that, and I'll show you how to do that again in the tutorial. I want you to come up with ways and solutions that are going to improve this trip up, this one thing that really messes with your schedule, okay? And I want you to apply systems and in some cases automate where you can. Now, I don't want you to look at anything else. I don't want you to tackle anything else until you have implemented this new system consistently. Now, for me in meal planning, I would say give it at least 3 months. And you're like, 3 months? But meal planning and meals is such a huge thing for me in my life with my family, my kids, grocery shopping, money, time. So many things are going to improve when I can look at my Trello board and know when my meal planning, what I'm going to do on Monday. I already know what I'm going to do on Friday. Because when you wake up in the morning, the last thing that you want to do is to think about what you're going to be making for dinner. And certainly at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which in some cases is when I need to be making dinner, that is the last point that you want to be thinking about making dinner. If you work outside of the home, that's impossible. And if you work outside of the home and don't have the plan, I mean, that is just like it hits you right in the face when you walk in the door, because then there's all of this activity. The kids want to see you. It's bath time. I mean, all of those good things, all the activities that happen sooner and sooner and sooner, younger, that come at you. So I really want you to be implementing the improvement for the system and potential automation for that one thing that trips you up. You need to be doing this consistently. And when you have done this and you're successful and you feel like now you've established this habit, you can go back and rinse and repeat. And what I mean by that is you can go back to your schedule and you can see what else in my schedule is tripping me up. Is it the fact that I don't record doctor's appointments? Is it my shopping? We kind of talked a little bit about using Amazon Pantry. One of the things, if you've read my about section, is that we have 2 dogs that are probably over 300 pounds combined weight. So they eat about 80 pounds of dog food every 2 weeks. Well, I was introduced to a company, Chewy.com, and I loved it. It was a sad story, but it was the way that the company handled the lady's story. She had food that was automatically being shipped. Her dog passed away, so she let the company know so they would stop shipping the food. Well, the company replied and said, go ahead and donate that food to a dog shelter, and we'll credit you back that food for that particular month. And then a few days later, she got flowers and a card where some of the employees had signed. And I'm thinking to myself, in this day and age, for a company to go out of their way to recognize her and her time of sorrow, it's like, this is a company that I want to be involved with. And so I looked into it, and it's actually less expensive than me getting in my car, driving to the store. It automatically ships, so I get a little bit of a discount. And 80 pounds of dog food, for me, it's heavy. And it's delivered right to my front door. And I don't have to be at the point, if this was a trip up for me, where, oh my gosh, we don't have breakfast the next day. What are we going to do? Or I don't have time because I'm going to soccer and run and grab some dog food for the dogs. It's done. It's out of my head, and it's onto my schedule, and I don't have to think about it anymore. It is a successful system. Now I can go and attack other things. By attacking other things, these trip ups, one at a time, it is going to be less overwhelming. You're going to feel more successful. You're going to feel, once you do that first thing, that you can do anything in your schedule, that you can make everything in your schedule work for you. Okay, so our goal today, number 1, is to take a look at our schedule, right? We're going to look at that one thing right now. We're going to highlight it, whether we're using the printable or Trello, we're going to highlight it. That is the thing that we're going to improve. And then we're going to brainstorm. We're going to think about a system, which is really a checklist. How can we improve this trip up? All right. And are there ways, like Chewy.com, like Amazon Pantry, are there ways that we can automate? You can even automate without someone drop shipping. When I'm talking about meal planning and the fact that I love these Ziploc bags, it's a matter of me taking time, scheduling time on my Saturday, whenever, when I make several meals at a time and then freeze them. That is an automation. And then it's a matter of me pulling and go, pulling and go, pulling and go. So meal planning might not be an issue for you. It could be your morning routine. If it's your morning routine, then again, there are ways that we need to stop for a minute. We need to take it out of our head. We've got it written down. We have a visual of it. And what are ways that we can improve? Because it's going to help you feel better, less stress, less anxiety, less worry, less baggage. And it just makes for a more pleasant day. And that's what we want. We want, as moms, you're the CEO of your house. And really, it's taking principles that we use in business and it's applying them to our home, to our daily routines. And when we can get that routine humming, it works like magic. So make sure you grab the printable If you're interested in the digital version using Trello, make sure you check out the additional tutorial that I have offered for you. And I hope this is helpful. Let's tackle one thing at a time and really start to improve your schedule. Now, we're going to continue this conversation in our private Facebook group, Organizing Mama. That link is also here. Make sure you get in on the group. I would love to see you there. All right, we'll talk soon. Thank you for listening to today's episode. For show notes and links, go to multitaskingmaven.com. Remember, register for the Manage Mama Overwhelm Productivity Workshop so I can help you find time in your busy schedule. We'll see you soon.